The new Polestar 5. This is Polestar's ultimate luxury halo car. It is a rival to the Porsche Taycan, the BMW i7, and, well, anything really expensive. In Australia, it starts at about $175,000. In other markets, it's also similarly expensive. In fact, in Europe, it costs 120,000 euros. So it's even more expensive in Europe than what it is in Australia. Is it worth the money? Is it actually as good as, well, Polestar is saying it is? Well, here are the full details. Here's everything I know so far. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. YouTube's new algorithm means that you're often not getting all of our videos in your feed. There's 7,500. I'm pretty sure you're probably not seeing a lot of them. In the description, there is a link to our newsletter. Click on that and you can get an update every day of all the latest news in the electric car industry. The Polestar four-door model, four-door liftback you could call it, starts at 120,000 euros in Europe. It's 143,000 euros for the performance version. And the performance version has 650 kilowatts, which is 872 horsepower. Will do 0 to 100 in 3.2 seconds. Now, this car, Polestar really hope this is going to work because on the September the 3rd, Polestar reported a wider loss for the second quarter after US tariffs and pretty strong price pressure led to an impairment charge of $740 million on its flagship model, the Polestar 3. Now, despite those troubles, a bright spot for Polestar has actually been its sales in Europe, where sales were up more than nearly 70% after 7 months of 2025. Because of that success, Polestar is saying Europe is a key market for its full electric luxury sedans. And interestingly, in the luxury sedan segment, 41% of all sales in Europe are fully electric. So, Polestar might be onto a winner here, but the question is, are people willing to pay some pretty high prices? And there's a lot of options. A lot of things are not standard, which I think maybe should be standard. Now, the design of the Polestar 5, it's no surprise. It looks very, very good. I'm not a huge fan of not having a rear window. That window at the back is not a window. It's part of the car. So there's a digital mirror that enables you to kind of see behind you. But I don't really see why they covered that over or don't have a window there. That said, though, I think in the design of this car is absolutely phenomenal. And whoever designs Polestars, I don't even know who it is. I should look it up, but they do a fantastic, fantastic job. So massive respect to them. Pricing in Australia starts at $171,000, right? That's for the standard dual motor. That undercuts its apparent rival, the Porsche Taycan, which is $181,000 in its cheapest form. Now, the Taycan only has one motor, nearly half the power, and 100 kilometers less range. So on paper, the Polestar 5 is the better car. The Polestar flagship model, the all-wheel drive performance, is, well, double the price of a Polestar 4. It starts at $193,000, but it does perform similarly to the Taycan GTS, which costs $265,000. So, yeah, in that respect, if you're in the market for a Porsche and you're thinking, well, maybe the Polestar could be the better choice. Maybe, could be. The cheapest model in Polestar's range, the $171,000 version, that's a dual motor and it has 550 kilowatt and 812 Newton meters coming from its two motors, front and rear. Claimed acceleration is 0 to 100 or 0 to 62 miles an hour, 3.9 seconds, 250 kilometers an hour top speed. The flagship performance model increases outputs from the dual electric motors to 650 kilowatt and 1,015 Newton meters, which is more than any other Polestar. This is the most powerful Polestar in history. Performance is very fast, 0 to 100 in 3.2 seconds. Driving range in European WLTP testing is 670 kilometers for the dual motor. The performance version is 565 kilometers. It gets a 106 kilowatt hour usable capacity nickel manganese cobalt battery, so an NMC battery. Now, it would have a fair bit more range, but it has enormous wheels, and that makes actually quite a big difference. It's the first Polestar 5, it's in fact the first Polestar vehicle to get an 800 volt architecture rather than 400 volt, and that unlocks some significantly faster charging. Charging speeds are 350 kilowatt DC for a claimed 10 to 80% charge in 22 minutes. Now, interestingly, sister brand Zeekr, yes, Polestar, guys, I know a lot of people think Polestars are Swedish. They're not. Polestar is owned by Geely, which is a Chinese company. Nothing wrong with that, though. And a lot of the work and design is done in Sweden, but predominantly these vehicles are actually built, I believe, in China. But Zeekr, sister brand, they have their cars, the Zeekr 7X, has 450 kilowatt charging. So I'm not really sure why the charging is a little slower for the Polestar 5, which is obviously quite a bit more expensive. Anyhow, that is faster charging than the Porsche Taycan's 320 kilowatt, but it is actually slower to charge in total. The Porsche takes 18 minutes to get from 10 to 80%, and the Polestar 5 obviously takes 22 minutes, so 4 minutes longer. It's also limited to 11 kilowatt on AC power, which I think is totally fine, but you can find 22 kilowatt on some cars now for AC. Polestar 5. One of the big things about it is that its underpinnings were developed by a team of sports car engineers in the UK, rather than Polestar's usual operations in Sweden and China. It uses bonded aluminium technology to reduce weight, and apparently this tech was pioneered by Lotus. In addition, the battery is a structural battery pack. So in total, this is a very, very strong focus on this car in reducing weight and improving safety and performance. Known as the Polestar Performance Architecture, it's actually claimed to be stiffer than a two-seat sports or supercar. And as I said earlier, it integrates the battery pack into the car's structure to save weight and complexity and also to add strength. All models use 4-piston Brembo front brake calipers, clamping new 400mm lightweight two-piece discs, claimed to be 12 kilos lighter than those in the Polestar 3 SUV. So a massive weight loss in the brake area, and also obviously better brakes as well. The dual motor swaps passive non-variable dampers for MagneRide adaptive units, which can read the road up to 1,000 times per second and use a special magnetic fluid to react within 3 milliseconds. Polestar highlights a steering rack placed ahead of the front axle that improves handling, as well as specially developed Michelin tires that are designed specifically for the car's 20, 21, and also 22-inch wheels. And I've got to say, guys, I quite like the design of the wheels. I think they look really, really good. In fact, they look fantastic. Some of the best wheels that I've ever seen. Kudos there. I mean, Polestar designers, just great work. The Polestar 5's most distinctive design feature is the lack of a rear window. As I mentioned earlier, it's been replaced by a high-resolution camera on the roof, which is projected into a digital rearview mirror actually located inside the car. As with the cheaper Polestar 4, this design choice allows the rear of the roof structure to be pushed behind the backseat passengers' heads, which Polestars say unlocks more headroom while retaining the sleek shape. I'm not personally convinced that's the only way to do it, but anyway. Other exterior details on this car, which is 5 meters long, it's pretty big. A large sedan in the same category size as a BMW 5 Series include matrix LED headlights, a full-width LED rear light bar, and body cladding in gloss black or shade. So, boot space. It's a really big car, but the boot is quite small. It's only 365 litres of boot space. That's less than something like a Volkswagen Golf or even a Mazda 2. It does, though, have a frunk. It's a 62-litre frunk, which is actually pretty small, to be honest. Now, there's also 3 rear seats, but Polestar says that the car has really been designed specifically as a 4-seater. The outboard seats in the back and of course the seats in the front have ventilation, heating, massage functions, and individual recline functions as well. Now, apparently the people sitting in the rear seats can also control the 4-zone climate system, and there is seat heating, ventilation, and massage functions that they can individually control themselves. Outboard rear occupants benefit from cutouts in the battery known as foot garages. This is a design pioneered by the Porsche Taycan to improve footroom and deliver a more natural seating position. So that's another cool feature. Now, speaking of those seats, the seats are the same Recaro-made design as the fronts, which also offer heating, power adjustment, and black Microtech upholstery as standard, with optional black or white bridge of wear Napa leather introducing ventilation and massaging functions. There's a lot of options on this car, which are quite pricey when you add them all up, and I'll get to those in a minute. The driver gets a 9-inch instrument display, a 9.5-inch widescreen projected head-up display, and a 14.5-inch touchscreen. It runs software based on Android Auto, a step beyond the Android Auto app with an existing multimedia system. Now, there's 4 customizable shortcut tiles pinned below the Google Maps view, as well as a dedicated shortcut tile to add 6 commonly used functions to the home screen. So basically, they're trying to make it easier to find things on the screen, trying to improve software, which has been a bit of a challenge for some Volvo Polestars and Zeekr cars as well. Features include the largest glass roof ever fitted to a Polestar, a volume dial, ambient lighting, and a choice of 10-speaker Polestar or 21-speaker 1,680 watt Bowers & Wilkins audio system. In other words, it comes standard with 10 speakers, Polestar branded, don't know what they are. You can option, though, the 21-speaker Bowers & Wilkins system. There is a series of 11 exterior cameras, 12 ultrasonic sensors, 1 driver monitoring camera, and 1 mid-range radar powering the vehicle's advanced safety systems, including lane centering assist. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it's about $20,000 more to get the Polestar 5 Performance, and that adds more power, 650 kilowatt. It adds 21-inch performance wheels, which help to reduce the actual range, and MagneRide adaptive dampers. It also adds gold-painted front brake calipers. Options. Nice list here. Bridge of wear Napa leather upgrade, $12,000. Yeah, that's pricey. 21-inch Pro wheels with Michelin Pilot Sport EV tires, $3,000. Dual motor only. 21-inch blade graphite wheels with Michelin Sport EV tires, $5,000, performance only. 21-inch blade wheels with Michelin Pilot Sport EV tires, $5,000, performance only. 22-inch performance wheels with Michelin Pilot Sport S5 tires, $7,000. So those are some pretty big wheels. Micro suede interior headlining, $2,000. 21-speaker Bowers & Wilkins premium audio system, $8,800. And a semi-electric tow bar, $3,200. Colors that you can get: magnesium, space, which is black, $3,000. Magnesium, by the way, is no cost, that's standard. Storm, gray, $3,000. Snow white, $4,000. Matte magnesium, $10,000. And matte storm, also $10,000. So what do I think about this car? Well, honestly, I think it's awesome. I think it looks fantastic. It's not really a car where you're actually going to really say to yourself, is this a good value proposition? It's not that market, is it? This super luxury car segment is, it's not where you're thinking to yourself, what's the resale value going to be like in 2 years' time? In fact, speaking of 2 years' time, you might be able to find one of these for a pretty good price if you're interested. Personally, I love the design, but it's not quite in my price segment, unfortunately. What are your thoughts? Thanks for watching.